southern drawl here, so
It's
hell yeah, brother.
regionals.
Do we have to do
We're
accents?
in a
Because my
region, aren't
character
we?
doesn't got that. My character's not from the
You
South.
best commit to the bit or get yourself on out of here.
I'm not from the South.
Gotta give me a prop pistol to go with
Intonation?
it.
I can't do that.
Woo!
Hello. Wow.
Welcome to
No
living.
countdown, no nothing. It's just we're fucking.
Oh, hold on. We got 2 rabbits on the
We've
stream.
been live.
We got rabbits.
Oh, it's
Oh.
there. James has it, I think. Oops. Yeah, okay. There's 2
of
rabbits.
these.
I'm also a rabbit.
Rabbits
Oh.
are the best.
It's there. It's there.
Adventure. My name is David. I have the distinct pleasure of being your dungeon master for the next 24 episodes, give or take.
Yo.
Welcome to Legends of Logomancy long form stream. I'm very, very excited to introduce all of you to this. It's something new for us, something we're very excited to try. You are going to see these 5 lovely people, hopefully, a lot, and you're going to get to see their faces and fall in love with their characters, because hopefully all of them will make it to the end. If I've done my job right, at least one of them will die a heartbreaking death.
Nice.
But it's not about me. It is about them. So I'm going to give them all a quick chance to introduce themselves. And I'm going to kind of start along the bottom with Brian. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Brian. On stream, I'm often found on Logomancies. I'm also found on a friend of mine, Danny, Ep.1. He's kicking around these chats. But I do massage therapy in real life. I'm not super big online. I'm not on Twitter. So at me kind of nowhere. Find me on streams. Follow me around from time to time. But that's
Physically.
me. I'm
Find
really
you and
excited
follow
to
you
be here.
physically.
Yeah, I'm a physical person. Just how we are. But excited to play. Loving Logomancy's streams, and yeah,
Beautiful.
ready to go.
Geek, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. Well, I'm GeekBaker. I don't know if anyone knows me. I was in one stream before this with our lovely Neon and our lovely. Oh, I was gonna say.
My man.
No, I can't say your word because I always get mixed up with my tongue twisters. Nibble.
Oh, Nibble Nipple, yeah. My screen name is Nibble Nipple.
Yeah.
For the most
My
part.
screen name is GeekBaker. I'm actually a pastry chef in real life. You can follow me on Instagram at GeekBaker. And yeah, I'm very excited for this stream, and I don't want to give away anything yet, so I'm gonna keep it there. And...
Ooh. Ooh.
Neon.
Ooh.
Let's
Hi.
let's
I'm
jump into
also
you.
Geek Baker.
Oh,
Hello. No, hi. My name is Neon Graffiti. You might know me from multiple Logomancy streams at this point, or if you're here from Viking Thursday, good to see you. I am very excited to play this game. Very excited to step into a little bit more of that frontier western adventure. It's gonna be lots of fun. Real excited. You can find me at Neon Graffiti or at It's Neon Graffiti on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram now. And I think that's it. But don't find me physically. I don't exist. I don't have a corporeal body. This is a like Hatsune Miku projection.
VTuber.
They're
Yeah,
getting really
exactly.
advanced.
Most
Yeah.
realistic.
I am the AI art.
Pixie,
Hello. That would be me.
that would be you.
Hi, I'm Pixie. I am Ms. Pixie Riot on all of the social networks that I participate in. I am a graphic designer and illustrator. I've done a fair amount of work in design for TTRPGs and character illustration and that kind of thing. I run a monthly D&D themed sticker club. And lately I can't stop crocheting blankets. Yeah, I'm kind of always making a thing. and throwing myself into probably too many TTRPG games, but I'm glad to be back on Logomancy, and other than here, you can find me occasionally on Casters and Castles and some other places.
Phenomenal.
And that is our cast and crew. I guess I should
Wait,
probably
wait.
Oh, hold
introduce
on.
myself. Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Hold on.
Wow!
Oh no! They've gone.
All of you are in that order except for Teagan. I am so sorry.
Get
My
forgotten.
part is that you just turned off your camera.
Damn.
And you're like, fine.
I believe
The
that.
scene opens and your character lying dead in the sand.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
That's how I kill off a character first.
I would revive Colt.
I apologize. You are all in that order on there except for Teagan, who is first in the list. So I was like going down the other order. I am so sorry. Teagan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go
So I'm Teagan, also Jackie Knight, kind of across everything, or Jackie Sky Knight. Kind of freelance IT writer at the moment. Lots of D&D in the near future with Logomancy and others. And I play some Star Wars too on the weekend.
Nice.
I'm so excited to get started with this.
Now that is actually all of our cast of characters.
Are you sure?
Wait, hold on.
about
You
that?
forgot one. You forgot one.
No, I think I'm good this time. We're just gonna jump in. Full force. Welcome to session 1 of the Frontier Adventures. We open on a perfectly boring day. The sun has risen and the small town of Sandmist has woken up. Elijah Guthrie is set about setting up watering troughs outside of his store, getting various goods kind of lined up and making sure things look clean. Daywin and Elnora have begun setting out tables in front of their saloon for the day, chatting with passing town folks, and you've even seen Mayor Schultz out and about from the office, as he's known to do, to wander about and mix with locals. The town is laid out a little too logically for those of you who expect a simple frontier town, and it makes sense. Sandmist used to be a fort. There's signs of it all around. The walls, in particular, stand out to most. The actual saloon is made up of the old mess hall and barracks. Guthrie made his home inside the old armory, and the mayor has claimed the administration building as town hall. Small houses dot within the walls that look out of place compared to everything else. But overall, it feels like a small and cohesive little town. There is, just outside of those walls, a small wooden church, surrounded by a stone-walled graveyard. Black shingled roof, and a little bell tower at the rear. Inside is Spartan, as you'd expect. Simple pews and places to pray. There are symbols of the respective gods, some respectable, others less, depending on who you ask. Outside of that, you find a lone figure tending to a small garden space, collecting flowers that have sprouted up. Neon, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah. So yeah, hunched over this graveyard flower garden, there is a slightly... She's a very tall, half-orc woman. She wears a collection of blacks, the black leather corset dotted with silver pieces and silver trimming. Her shirt collar comes all the way up to her neck and is tied all the way up in a very modest priestly collar. She wears her kind of angular Stetson as she runs her hands through the dirt. Her gray skin has vertigo with green patches that look kind of like moss growing on a boulder. Her hair hangs loosely over her shoulder in a very neat black braid. And she just is getting lost in the work in planting, replanting, moving, watering, collecting what pieces of incense and herbs need to be collected, and giving thanks as she goes along. Her necklace hanging off her neck shows a generic holy symbol, one where if you squint and look at it one way, it's one deity, but if you look at it another way, it's another deity, kind of shifting and moving with the light to represent faiths of many different walks.
As you've set about your daily chores, parishioners and visitors to the church kind of walk in and out. Some of them stop to very politely chat with you, or to thank you for your day's work so far. The nice thing about such a diverse gathering of religions is that people come and go. There's always something for you to be doing. However, you hear the distinctive sound of like slapping footsteps that can only be made by a child who's very, very excited, or somebody who's close to still being a child. You turn around and you notice a halfling girl running towards you. You recognize her. Her name is Cassidy Stone. Her family moved here very recently. They've only been here for about a year or so. And most people refer to her as Coyote. She hates the term. It's a name that she picked up because she's very thin, but she's really good at finding stuff. Her dad's a farmhand, and her mother kind of keeps to the town hall. As she's running up, she's got one hand tucked behind her back, and she very loudly is like, "Father, father, father!" Like, very excited to see you.
Yeah. Well, good golly, Miss Coyote, what do you got for me? And from her she'll kind of turn from the garden, have a moment to kind of stand up and dust herself off, revealing that she's, like this 6'6" tall, slim figure, before kind of squatting down to be on her level.
She pulls from behind her back the ugliest uncut ruby you've ever seen. This is what she's known for, though. She has brought you tons of little, like, these ugly gemstones that she finds out in the frontier, and she holds it out to you proudly. And she goes, "I think this one's the best one I've found so far."
Well, color me tickled. That's the phrase that I'm using, sure. Color me surprised, Miss Coyote. This certainly is a gem to behold. And I'll grab it from her and just kind of like dance it along my fingers, letting the light kind of play off the rough edges. I go, well, you know what we do with nice gemstones that we find out in the frontier. And I reach back and pull a little like kerchief out of a back pocket, and I rub one side of the gem. And I go, now, you best get to cleaning this up. There's some water still left in my pail back there.
She nods very excitedly, and takes it towards the pail. And she stops and she turns around. And she goes, "Oh, right, Mr. Tasbor, I think that's his name. He said now's time. You should go there."
Understood. Thank you, my darling.
And then she heads off towards the pail.
Mm-hmm. I take a moment. I take my gardening shovel that is fairly hefty, and I clip it into my belt. So I have a little belt shovel. And as I walk out of the graveyard, I grab my long, kind of black duster coat from the stone wall and sling it over my shoulder in a very dramatic, billowing flare. And I step out with my spurred cowboy boots and my long duster jacket and head on into town. And as I leave, I turn around. I give a nice little polite hat tip to Miss Coyote.
She waves at you as you go. And you head towards the town and towards the Frontier Adventure Company headquarters. But before we go there, the sound that a lot of people in this town are familiar with is the regular trundle of carts coming and going. Sandmist isn't important enough to have a train stop. It was built long before a train station existed here, but it did find its way to being an important base nonetheless. As a result, most everything here arrives via convoy. And that's what we have is the rumble of carts kind of creaking and groaning as they pass through the front main gate through the walls and into the center of town. Like a well-oiled machine, very quickly the people begin piling off of the carts, taking things to various stores. Some of them go to Guthrie's, some of them go to the Garrison Hotel and Saloon. All around, people are just kind of busying themselves. But there's one other figure that's included in this, stepping kind of out from the carts themselves, and that would be the young Mr. Colt.
So, stepping just to like the left or the right of the cart is about a 3-foot tall halfling. He's male, sandy blonde hair, kind of that sexy bedhead kind of look. Hazel eyes, tan skin, a little bit of peach fuzz, just because halflings can't really grow mustaches or beards. And he still wants to fit in with everyone else. He's wearing a short tan colored shirt, dark brown pants, black cowboy boots, fingerless gloves. But the oddest thing about him is that one of his arms is actually metal, because he's actually a reforged. So he kind of looks around. Sand mist. He's probably been here maybe once or twice, but not very often. He's mostly with his father.
As you kind of look around, you hear the kind of general sounds that you expect from a town. You have people kind of moving about. Some people actually stop and wave at you. They're very polite as they kind of pass. It's a very small town adventure. You with your father have probably spent many a time in some of these small towns, and you're very familiar with kind of the look and feel of what people that choose to live so far away from what most people would call civilized world would see. As you kind of look around, the things that catch your eye is that the town itself still feels very cramped and closed in, like a city, mostly done by the walls. They're fairly tall, over 20 feet high, and they're stone, which is, for most frontier outposts a little bit weird, but so close to the desert, it's still fairly easy to get sandstone. You are immediately caught, though, by an elven couple, or what at least looks like an elven couple from where you are, standing in the front of the old barracks, and obviously called the Garrison Saloon. And as you kind of settle into that and get a chance to look around, they stop and they look at you, and they both kind of wave in a somewhat knowing way, a little bit more like they understand you're here for something important.
They like your vibe.
Colt would give them a big smile and then a kind wave back, like, good to see ya.
We gotta hydrate.
Yeah, so you are, you get a chance to walk around, and as you get your bearings a little bit better, the other building you notice is the Frontier Adventure Company building that is off kind of to the northwest of the facility, close to the wall, but it seems separated out. Like originally it had been kind of built as its own little facility contained within. Through your time with your father, you've probably at some point visited a military fort. Oclane military, especially for people of your father's stature, are more than happy to have them come by and visit and show off. So they're excitedly. You recognize this used to be an officers' section. Very tall building. It's clearly got like its own administration structure, its own saloon structure, and then bunks on top of that. But you recognize that now it's been rebranded as Frontier Adventure Company headquarters. And that's probably where you would think to head first.
Yeah, Colt would be wouldn't be able to wipe the smile off his face as he goes in and looks around, kind of waving and smiling at everyone as he does so. See, he knows when he was with his father that he kind of had to have like a certain appearance, but now it feels like he can just kind of be him.
Mm-hmm.
And he can define who he is.
With that, and you get an opportunity to take your bearings and wander about to your heart's content, truly feel as free as you do. We cut away now to one of our more odd adventurers. A tiny, by stature of everyone else, Haragon, who seems very ill-fit, even in a town as diverse as Sandmist tends to be, who has only recently made her way in. And I believe, and I'm going to mispronounce this because I'm bad with names on a good day, Skilton? No. Skileta.
Ski for short.
I've got it written wrong in my notes. That's why I'm struggling.
Bad DM.
Happens to all of us.
Bad.
I'm just going to change that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Skileta just showed up to town. Skileta, doesn't look like she belongs at all. She is 4 foot nothing. She's wearing like green forest armor that's like wrapped in wraps and everything with some plating and everywhere. Like it looks like it has some like wear and tear, but it looks pretty well maintained. Wearing a big blue scarf that they have over their nose and everything to snuggle in so they don't get sand in their fur and in their nose. They have a satchel across their back, like across their front and the back, which kind of looks like just a weird backpack type of thing. And their fur is white with black spots all over it. They have a giant black spot over their right eye, and their long ears are down most of the short. They look like a really shy dwarf rabbit. And they are just like, one thing that really stands out to them is that they have a battle axe that is almost bigger than them, which is almost touching the ground as they walk, as it's strapped to their back behind the satchel. They just walk into the town and they're like, oh my goodness, this is cool. Oh, look at all the people. We made it. Good gracious.
Sorry,
at this time, there's like rustling in her backpack as she goes, we made it, Strudel. Where are we supposed to go? Just completely lost.
As you look about, you are, you see the cart that has just arrived and the large space that's kind of like, or that's feeling a little bouncy and airy as stuff's coming in, and you're seeing people moving about, and you do see somebody who looks very friendly and approachable, and that is Colt. You can see him. He's got this big smile on his face. He looks like he's very excited to be there. And yeah, that's like you lock eyes with this man, and you're like, that person. He's the one I want to talk to.
just like going over like, hello! I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm supposed to be here at the frontier, and I'm lost. Do you know where to go? I'm skinny, by the way, and just grabs your hand and like forcibly shakes it aggressively, like I'm Skileta, but all my friends call me Ski if I had friends. Yeah.
Ski Ski stronger than they look?
100%.
Okay.
Ski is a unit. You don't notice it walking up, but when you get a good look, Haragons are always like very slim and everything. Ski is small and slim, but you can tell there's just muscle underneath that armor. As the axe doesn't seem to slow her down at all. It is massive, but she is running, jumping, and everything like an excited little kid, like there's nothing on her back.
Colt would definitely shake Ski's hand and then just be like, "Oh, you have strong grip there, miss."
Huh,
but yeah. I meant, where are you going? Maybe we're going to the same place.
I'm going to the frontier thing. I'm lost. I accidentally fell out of my cart when I was sleeping, and I just started walking, and I'm a little late. I think I'm a little late, but it should be fine, right? I enjoyed the sand. It was very nice, except it got everywhere.
It's sand does. But I'm actually going there too. Here, did you want to walk with me?
Oh yes, please.
I've been here a few times to kind of show you around as we go.
Perfect. I don't know directions well.
That's okay.
Okay.
Stick with me and you'll be fine.
As you guys approach the Frontier Adventure Company headquarters, Colt, you see one more face that you recognize. Somebody from, your past life, one might say. But that would be good Mr. Flint. You'd care to describe yourself?
Yeah, I guess standing outside of the headquarters, just kind of leaning up against the wall with like the 1 foot up, just like knee cocked, like checking everything out, duster hanging low. He's got on his side a satchel. He's got like not a lot of equipment on him, but as he digs into the satchel, he pulls out like something much larger than you'd expect, like just a crowbar. He's just like looking at it for a sec, checks back down, pulls out, like starts pulling out some rope, and is like, all right, puts it back in, and it's just like a much smaller satchel than you would expect. But yeah, he's got some goggles just around the top of his head, like not using them right now during the daytime, but nice big brimmed hat. You see a side on his side, he's got a 45, and he just kind of tips his hat at you guys when you all walk up, and he's like, "Oh, happy to see you there, Colton. Who you got with you?"
Ski's just gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Skileta." Grabs his hand, aggressively shake it. My friends call me Ski if I had friends. It's very nice to meet you. I'm a little late. I was lost. I ran here as fast as I could. I do apologize. I'm covered in sand.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna call you Ski if that's all right then.
Cool. Does that make you my friend?
I guess we're gonna be friends. Well,
Cool.
Ski,
I got one friend.
so lovely to
Colt's
meet you.
gonna kind of look at Ski and be like, "Are we not friends now?"
Do you call me Ski? I got two friends. I had no friends, and now I have two friends. Best day ever.
Well,
Doubled it, and you've only been here a short amount of time.
that's mighty fine for all of us now. You see, we got 3 friends all together now. Should we head in? Do you think? We are supposed to go inside soon, hey? I kind of lost track of time myself.
I lost track myself. The real question is,
as you are debating whether or not to head inside, you do see the slowly approaching appearance of Father Sophia. But you also see one other figure joining up with that, and that is, of course, the last of our band of heroes, Temperance.
Yeah, so Temperance would use the term hero very lightly, very loosely. Temperance McCoy, she goes by Hearts. Plays a lot of cards, maybe cheats at a lot of cards. She's something of a striking figure. She has very much a cowboy look about her. So, she's got like her collared shirt with like a leather vest over it and leather pants, and these like her like red high-heeled cowboy boots have like hearts and clubs and spades and diamonds kind of patterned into them. And like absolutely like spurs, like the whole thing. She jingles when she walks. She's like maybe a little taller than average, like really long hair, a striking figure. And as she is walking up to kind of fall in step beside the father, absolutely like there's just this like huge ass cigar hanging out the corner of her mouth. She'll put it out before she goes inside, probably, but you know, her hope is to finish it before they get there.
And with that, you guys find yourselves, your whole crew, assembled outside the building. And just as you all show up, the door opens, and standing in it is a hunched dragonborn. He wears a set of like well-worn robes, and from like how he's hunched over, he looks to be about like maybe 6'2", 6'3" kind of thing. And he steps out and you get a better look at him. Brilliant blue scales. And he's wearing a pair of like the tiniest little nose pinch glasses you've ever seen. From his physiology, these do nothing. Like as soon as you look at them, you go, he's not looking through those. But as you know, you're kind of taking a moment to look at him. He steps out and he regards the five of you. And in this deep tone, he kind of goes, well, how fortunate you've all shown up so together. And he steps back and gestures in towards the building itself.
I was just gonna go first and be like, okay, I'm Skileta. I have 3 friends, and they call me Ski. It's nice to meet you, and just walks inside.
He kind of watches you with like a mild amusement, like, okay. Great, we're doing
Colt's
this.
just like, I need to get to 3.
Automatically just gonna make her friend. Automatically. She's collecting the friends. That is her whole goal. I'm gonna have all the friends.
Fine day to you.
Father.
Howdy.
And like as
Good to see
Oh,
they
go
didn't
ahead,
have
go
to.
ahead.
Oof. Good to see they didn't have to drag you out of a barrel this time, Hearts.
Now, that was one time. And I mean, it's only because I really didn't want to go. And Hearts like kind of
Fair enough.
crosses one leg over behind the other to like put out the last of the cigar on the sole of her boots. And then she like tucks it away into a pocket. You know, she's not gonna litter with her butt. She's gonna be careful about that. Mostly because then she'll get told to not smoke anywhere near the building again.
As you enter and you kind of walk past Nalfek, who's a dragonborn that you see there, he watches you walk, but he's looking at your feet. And if you look back, you can see like where you put it out on the heel of your boot. You are leaving a small like imprint of the ash as you step. And he doesn't say anything, but he just kind of lets out this long held sigh. And then he looks over towards a closet that you can kind of see. And then he sighs again, and then he gestures towards a staircase that you guys can see. Entering into the building, there's a reception kind of waiting area. When this served as an officer's barrack, a Yowman or something similar would have probably sat here and taken care of the facility. Several aides would have worked at this desk in time to time and relayed messages up to the team. That kind of thing.
Sorry, just to interrupt for a second, but James says that your audio just died.
Oh no.
Yes.
Just
David.
David's
David's
audio
audio.
just died.
Before you describe too much lovely stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what?
Not coming
He's just gonna
through.
look at the father and be like, "So you're his dad?"
Not quite like that. You
But
see,
he called
I'm
you father.
a lot of people do out here.
Oh, you have plenty kids?
Sure.
I hope that's better.
Mhm.
I'm Skileta.
You could say that.
Giant woman just like, I'm Skileta.
Hello, Furball. You sure are an excited one.
Yes, and you can call me Ski. All my friends call me Ski, so you shall be my friend too, right?
Sure.
Got 4 friends now.
Colt's still like,
And that's a good number to have. It's lucky.
I don't know what was good. I had a joke for the lucky thing, but I just like it gone.
He's gonna just think everyone who calls the father is their child, and just gonna be like,
I'm here for it.
I love that.
yeah.
It's exactly the kind of energy we want to bring into the studio. Yeah, Nalthek leads you guys
I'm so
upstairs, and this is the officer's mess that you now find yourselves in. The room is large. There's several small tables scattered about. There's a larger table in the middle. There's a bar towards the back that's closed, like it's got like an old set of like gates that have been closed, and they look like they haven't been opened in a long time. But this used to be where officers that were stationed at this fort would eat and convene and chat, and things that military members are wont to do. But this is where he leads you, and he sits down at the big central table, kind of at the head of it. It seems like it's not like a power move, like how CEOs will always sit at the head of the table. This isn't that. This is just where he's always sat, so it's where he's going to sit. And he sits down, and he kind of like broadly gestures out to the table, indicating you should probably sit.
Skileta's just gonna take off the axe and put it like leaning up the chair like nicely, and then take off the satchel, like put it on their lap, and just sits down, just like.
Flint's probably just gonna wait till most everyone else is sat before taking a seat, like as far back as possible.
Is it open seat right beside me?
Colt's
I will
definitely gonna sit more.
pull one of the
Oh.
chairs out.
Sorry, go Neon.
You
I
first.
was gonna say Colt's gonna kind of sit more towards the back, more on the table than on a chair.
And I'll pull out a chair slowly. It doesn't scratch on the ground. There's care to that action. Gently place it down, sit cross-legged, and wait.
Hearts grabs a chair by the back and like flips it around.
Are you
To
gonna
sit
Riker
on it,
maneuver
I'm not-
this?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah!
Riker daddy.
Fire of badass!
No, but like definitely ends up like sitting on the chair like this, like with
Ready
That
to
was a
pull out
problem.
the back of it.
massive, cool rock album that they've been working on.
It's definitely like it definitely comes across as pretentious as fuck.
Yeah.
But like she's been doing it for so long now, she doesn't even think about it. It's kind of like it used to be a performance, but now it's just habit.
He's just gonna look at her and just be like, "Hi, I'm Skileta.
Hi there. You can call me Hearts.
You can call me Ski. All my friends call me Ski."
Ski. That's a nice name. I'll call you Ski.
I have 5 friends. She just like, takes out one towel. He's just looking it down like,
I have a moment where I look around the room and count on my fingers how many friends are here, and it doesn't add up.
Right?
Friends with themselves.
"No, I'm friends with the guy, the Dragonborn."
Dragonborn? Okay. Fair.
You will find he
Like,
exclusively
better have
refers
this.
to you as Skileta.
Oh,
Still got 5 friends.
that's Ski's goal is to make him
He's
their
gonna
friend.
make them their friend, whether they like it or not. I got a spit cake! Yes!
I have coffee all over my screen.
Sorry, guys, don't mean to die on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you sit down and get yourself comfortable and settle in, he watches you like intensely, kind of studying each and every one of you, as you perform your various forms of sitting, and as you kind of like settle yourselves in, he reaches under the table and you hear him like digging into something. You realizing there's probably like a drawer or something there, and he pulls out 5 letters, and he kind of like with one finger swipes each of them over towards you with a scary accuracy. Like it's like spins perfectly to like face you. And he goes, "Welcome to Sandmist. I will be your outpost master. You may call me Mr. Tasbor."
Now, come on, Mr.
Tasbor?
Tasbor. You know we know each other better than that.
I call you friend?
Yeah,
No-
come on, Taz.
Taz! Friend Taz. Best friend Taz.
Yeah.
Heart mutters under her breath. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
And like he looks annoyed, but he just like kind of like pushes it down, like a middle-aged father who's just been like constantly bottling those up and putting it in the garage for years. You know, he just kind of sits there for a moment, and then goes,
I would like to say we got a boost treasure
"Did we?
from chat.
Oh, we did. We'll have to find a way to give you guys treasure now. Well, I mean, there's treasure. There's always treasure to be had." And he goes,
More treasure.
he goes, "The letters in front of you are your official promotions to full members of the Frontier Adventure Company." So, and he gives the most like
Unenthusiastic.
this man has
Flint
done
has
this
never
before.
received such an applause.
He's done this before. Skileta's gonna take the letter and be like, Strudel, we did it. Did it, buddy.
Like he's done this a lot, and he's just at this point like he's been so used to being alone here in like this massive building by himself that he's almost like not sure what to do with you now, and it's almost a mild inconvenience. Like he's like, "I don't need you, but like you're here, so I'm gonna put you to work." And he goes, "The town of Soundmist is, well, it's about as frontier as you get. There's not a lot that happens here that's particularly exciting or interesting or dangerous. So I hope your tenure with me is not excessively boring. That being said, there is no martial presence here in the town. Father, you're more than aware of that, I'm sure. And Miss Hartz, I'm sure you're definitely aware of that."
Heart's like it's an imaginary hat.
As such, one of the duties of you while you're here will be to act as the town's law enforcement for the foreseeable future. How long that may be will depend on how much you do in your time here to bolster this town's presence. As you know... oh, go ahead.
As you say this, Flint's just gonna take a step forward and is just gonna be like, "I've worked with several law enforcements throughout my tenure back in Frostholm. Definitely ready to step up and do whatever it may take to set the law straight in this here town."
I'm sure that that will be greatly appreciated by the folks that live here.
So you're telling me right now that there is no sheriff, anyone, and you're appointing us the. So
We are the law,
we
Flint.
could all. we could be the sheriff.
If you desire that title, I'm sure for a price Mayor Schultz would be more than happy to make that happen for you. I'm here
Okay.
that he is easily bought.
Do we get hats?
Do you if you want to buy hats, I'm not going to stop you.
And get matching cloaks.
What about badges?
With all
Badges?
due respect, I don't intend on dressing up with y'all.
You guys look so cool. I don't match.
Okay, Father. We know.
He's your dad too?
No. I'm just gonna like.
Just your daddy.
Yeah.
Everyone here is my child.
Including you, Ski.
What? No.
Do you
I don't know you. You're not my
do you
father.
follow a faith,
What's a faith?
like a belief in something bigger than yourself?
I'm faith. Does that count?
Close enough.
Between the chest congestion and laughing so much, I'm just gonna die by the end of this.
I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
No, good.
That's a great campaign.
He kind of looks about you and goes, "This is one of the roles the Frontier Adventure Company serves to keep other less scrupulous individuals who may ride in and pay for a sheriff promotion from arriving. With that said, there is a task that needs seeing to.
Bro, what you got for us, Taz?
I'd prefer if you didn't refer to me as that."
That's fantastic.
I think it suits you well.
I'm sure you
Yep.
do, Father.
It is awful sweet.
You need to be nice to your dad.
That's not how my culture works.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was rude of me. I've never really met you.
I'm not surprised. Heraborn don't typically make their way out to Fefdan anyways, so I would have been
It's
more
in-
surprised if you had. No, but some places are, I suppose.
It's like, oh.
This man has all the energy of a burnt out retail employee.
He's
Welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
he's
Just was
worked for the
Boxing Day.
He's worked for the Frontier Adventure Company for a very long time, and it shows. He goes, one of the things that has happened recently, a train departing from Redstone Springs, I think it's called, that town that most of you probably passed through on your way here. It unfortunately suffered a train heist, and while normally this would not be something that we would bother ourselves with, according to the reports of what was stolen, amongst with general trinkets and the belongings of several people who were unfortunate enough to be riding on the train at the time, something of importance was stolen along with it all. An artifact, and they would not tell me what said artifact was. They just said, and I quote, "It's very important, please get it back."
Well, now how are we going to know what's a very important artifact?
Very helpful description there.
Well,
I guess we know it when we know it.
Guess so.
My best guess would be that it's probably kept in a lockbox, because according to everything that I've read, and knowing it's from the Bankers Guild who had shipped it, it's probably magically sealed, so they are unfortunately stuck attempting to get it open with very little luck. And assuming they do get it open, they probably won't know what they have.
But we're not looking
Probably
for an
not.
artifact. We're looking for a box.
That would probably be more accurate, yes.
Is it black? Are we looking for a black box?
I don't know.
I'd take it that we probably are.
He kind of like stands up and shuffles away for a minute, coming back from like one of the tables. And as you kind of like watch him walk, you notice that like the various tables are just piled with paperwork. Like, it's neatly organized and everything has very clearly got a system, but it's just kind of here. He's clearly not using anything but this room. And he comes back holding a folder. And now, Flint, you would have seen this before, as, you know, typically these would come in as bounty folders when you accept a bounty from a more legitimate service. This would be how the information on it would be presented to you. And he kind of slides it over somewhat knowingly towards you, and gives you an opportunity to look at it. Definitely
Open said docket.
Yeah, in it is kind of a list of known hideouts that are nearby Sandmist. Some of them in the nearby hoodoos that are, you know, caves that have cropped up that people have used, and some of them are just like abandoned farmsteads that people have made use of. 3 of them he's like specifically like circled and made note of, and he goes, you know, there are 3 that I think are probably your more likely option, and 2 of them are out in the hoodoos, and one of them is one of those abandoned farmsteads. And he's like, if I'm completely honest with you, the farmstead is the farthest shot. It's probably the odd one out in terms of what we expect and where we expect to find it. But there's, you know, some of the local farmhands work nearby, and they could probably tell you more if there's stuff going on there. And if they can't provide you with any more details, and you don't think it's a viable choice, the hoodoos are, you know, about a day's journey from here, and should take you no time to clear out. You've all passed your initial apprenticeships, so I have no doubt that a few idiot bandits would not be troubling for you.
Oh, this is right up my alley here. All right, well, I guess if that's it, do you got some gear that we need to get started off with?
Do you have a description of the thief, the robbers?
Your typical, you know, humanoid wearing face masks to conceal their identity best they could, armed mostly with second-hand and cheap revolvers, so clearly ill-funded. I suspect, if anything, these are amateurs who just got lucky.
And we can't kill them?
I mean, I don't care.
Okay.
I mean,
That's mighty cold of you, Taz.
It's a moral quandary you can fight yourself. I particularly don't care to fight it.
Is there a jail set up in this town? Do we have any means to bring them to justice beyond the ends of our hammers, or?
I mean, there is inside the administration hall. There is a space afforded for the marshals should they ever decide we're worth their time, which includes a small collection of jail cells, which you could use, yes.
Right. Well, if we do want to doll out justice as opposed to just dolling out, you know, executions, we could bring them back here. I'm not completely opposed to the latter. Just saying.
We'll see how things roll.
All right.
Divine always asks us to spare her an extra chance, but not everyone wants to take it.
That's fair. We'll leave it
It's
to
us
them.
or them. I'd rather it be us.
If it looks like they intend to kill, then, well, we can return the favor.
He's just like, so do I have permission?
That's
or
just
no?
the way.
Yes.
Do you want a little tiny piece of paper that says license to kill on it? Write that up for you.
No,
That'd be better. I've heard.
I'll even pray over
Ooh, a
it.
holy license to kill. You know that's worth something.
That you know what? We were recommend that treasure. I want that to be Ski's letter. I have a holy license to kill. Get the fuck out of my way.
There's just a little like asterisk at the bottom. It says to kill divine like fiends,
Yeah.
undead.
Doesn't really understand
Just
that
enemies of the light.
Now that you guys have your first assignment, we will give you an opportunity to explore the town a little bit more and maybe stock up on supplies you might need. But first, we're going to take the first break of the night. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, we're trying to make the experience better for our Twitch viewer friends by giving ourselves some breaks with a chance to run some ads so people who aren't subscribed to us have an opportunity to not miss out on the action. But with that said, we're going to go to a short 3-minute break here. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Oh, we get a countdown this time.
Listen, sometimes I care. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I forget you exist. You know, it's just how things happen.
Oh, you could never forget me.
It's telling a story.
Poor Teagan. I'm sorry.
Get loved.
Forgive me.
Get
Okay.
forgotten.
Never.
Fair enough. Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna jump into our lovely heroes getting an opportunity to go on a little bit of a shopping adventure, which everybody loves a good shopping trip. So yeah, you guys are currently. Oh my God! Please stop. There we go. You guys, currently you know that you're on a. You're going to be heading out and doing a little bit of investigating. Mr. Tasbor gave you guys kind of a little bit of details, saying, ask around the town, ask the farmhands, see how things go, and then once you're ready, just let him know you're leaving, so he can write letters to your family if he has to.
I'm leaving.
On a jet plane.
Don't know when I'll be back.
I'm leaving
again.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you guys.
I never
Oh.
asked. Did we start off with any money, any gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting money for your level should have been doled out by roll 20.
Oh, let me double check. I didn't.
Works
So
for me.
I heard something steal.
Where do we see?
Oh yeah, I have money. Cool. He's
There we
gonna
go.
get a hat. She
I
feels out
have
of
0
place.
gold. I'm a broke boy.
Oops, no money.
Oops, no money. All right.
Oops, no money. All fleas.
Yeah. All right, actually, I've got expensive things.
Flint's dirty.
But yeah, so the town is kind of a solid option. There's Guthrie's. He stocks a fair wide amount of things, and Sophia would definitely be familiar with Guthrie's setup. But yeah, you get kind of an opportunity to do a little bit of investigation around town, ask some people, for those of you who are new to town, maybe take an opportunity to introduce yourselves, and go from there.
Are we tracking rounds? Like arrows and stuff?
No, I'm going to assume you re-up on supplies fairly regularly. I will only, if I'm tracking rounds, you're probably in trouble.
Oh god.
Okay.
So Ski's just gonna look at Krell and be like, Krell, where do I buy a hat?
Who are you talking to?
Krill.
Krill?
How do you say it?
Who?
Oh, that's not. I'm not saying that right. I'm looking on how it's written. It looks like Cril.
Oh, are you talking about Colt?
Colt. But it says on here Krill. Oh, that is an O. That's a T. I'm
no.
tired.
Oh, it's
I'm
fancy writing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I've been up since 2 a.m. Colt. Wow. First we forget you in the stream, and now I can't even get your name right.
Guilt?
I feel so loved.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just gonna
I'm
call
so
you by a
sorry.
different name every time now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bit.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, the writing messed up with my mind, and I thought it said Cyril. I was like, I thought it was Colt, but maybe I'm wrong, and so I just went off with what the writing was, so I wouldn't get it wrong, and I still fucking got it wrong. So ignore that I said CL or Krill or whatever I said.
What's up, Ski?
Where do I buy a hat?
You mean your name's not Bruce?
Almighty. Usually the general store has one. Or a few.
There might be a nice haberdashery in town. Pardon
Be
me.
a nice little, yeah.
Where would that be?
Over
Come
this
on,
way.
Let's
I
go.
think
I'll
I've
show
been
ya.
here the longest, and I'll take it to showing you around.
That'd be mad finding
And
you
I'll
there,
lead
father.
the way towards wherever a hat would be.
That would be Guthrie's. So
Yeah.
Guthrie's General Goods, or as most people in town refer to it as Triple G, is
Good.
is a it's kind of a general goods store. He carries a little bit of everything, and if you ask politely, he can probably get it in for you. And it's run by Elijah Guthrie himself. He's got a couple of hands that work there for him, but he makes a pretty solid effort to always be in the store if it's open.
Guthrie?
Father, how are you now?
Another.
Can't complain yet.
Well, I'm sure if we give you a long enough day, you'll find something to complain about. We all do.
That's why I'm here.
To listen to complaining? I mean, sounds like something the clergy
That's basically
would do.
what. Yeah, it's exactly what the clergy does.
What can I do for you, Father?
We're looking for a hat for the little one here, and we're heading out here soon, and thought we might pick up some
I'm
supplies.
always down to help out. And he kind of like looks over the counter at its ski, and nods to you and goes, "What kind of hat are you looking for?"
You have something that would fit my ears, so I can have like holes for my ears, so that I don't want them to burn, but I also don't want a hat that's uncomfortable for them. They're quite sensitive.
Now, I probably don't got anything that comes with holes for ears, but I'm sure one of the boys out back would be more than happy to make it fit for you. You got something in mind?
It's hot out.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it gets pretty hot about this time of year.
Do you want like a cowboy hat, a bowler? I think that's what he means.
Oh, what's a bowler?
Style a hat.
Oh.
Round.
Well, like for example, you know, a flat-brimmed hat. We might call it a duster out here. It's a simple hat, easy to keep sun off your head. You can get something a little bit more, you know, in fashion. You can get yourself, you know, as mentioned, a bowler hat. We have 2 or 3 of them kicking around because, you know, Mayor Schultz likes to wear them, and he loses them quite frequently. So if that's what you're kind of in the mood for, you know, we can probably make that happen. Of course, go with a more simple, like a lot of the farm hands wear. You know, as most would call it, a cowboy hat, although there's various types that would fall under that category depending on what you're looking for.
Can I get a flat one? It's really hot out.
I think we can make that happen. And he leans over his shoulder and he goes, "Jenkins, come on, boy." And one of the young men runs out, and he goes, "You know, go get me one of those dusters we got, and make sure we can adjust it to fit her ears through." And he kind of nods. He like wipes his hands on his smock like he was doing something. He kind of runs out into the back warehouse for a bit. What are the rest?
Do you make little hats too?
How little are you asking for?
You just like put it like this big.
That's a pretty small hat. I don't think that would fit on your head.
It's not for me.
Okay. Does it also need ear holes?
No.
I think we probably don't, but we can I suppose from the material cut off making yours fit, we could probably fashion a string to it or something.
Oh, perfect. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's gonna be a few minutes for the hand to take care of things. Is there anything else you guys are looking for while you're here?
Do we want info? Do you think the
Probably.
shopkeep would have any?
I'd definitely ask him straight away. By the way, sorry, it was Gutier. What was your name again?
Elijah, but most people just call me by my last name, Guthrie.
Guthrie. All right, thank you, Elijah. Would you prefer? Do you like it when people call you Guthrie? Would Elijah suit you better?
People have been calling me Guthrie longer than you've been alive. I'm perfectly fine with it.
All right. Okay. Cheers. No, we're new to this outpost here, but well, some of us at least. Father, no disrespect, but we've
He's
been
none
kind of
taken.
tasked with bringing a bit of order to town, being a bit of law, if you will. Now, we've already been assigned a mission, and we've been tasked to retrieve an artifact that's gone missing. I'm just curious if you've heard anyone in town talking about stories of break-ins, robberies, or anything of that sorts. If you know anyone in that kind of circle, or if you have any information to help us out with.
Son, you realize you're on the frontier, right? People talk about robberies and break-ins basically every day. Is there something specific you're looking forward? Because, I mean, I'm sure some folks around here could probably point you in the right direction who might have a bit of a hand. Or at the very least, you know, who you could loosen the lips of that could probably tell you a bit more.
Well, he's gonna look back to everyone else. Anyone have any ideas? But
Yeah, have the old farmstead ways back. Has there been anyone over there lately? Do you know that you know of them?
I wouldn't know. Probably better ask some of the farmhands around town. You can find them. He looks over at a clock on his wall. Probably about an hour. You can find most of them hanging around the garrison.
here we go. Thanks for your help.
Good, thank you, sir.
Glad I could help. The young man he'd called out before, you know, rushes out, and he's got, you know, it's a very simple flat-brimmed hat that's now got 2 ear holes that are roughly where your ears are, enough that you can kind of like wiggle it around a little bit and make it fit. Guthrie takes one of the leather scraps and a hole punch from behind the counter, and with a hammer just like hammers 2 holes through it, strings some string, and hands it over to you and goes, well, hat will be, you know, run you a silver piece and call it easy.
Okay. Oh, I ball it and just slide because I only have gold pieces, so I'm gonna have to slide a gold piece over. Just be like,
He breaks it, you know, tosses it into. He's got like an old-timey cash register, like you see kind of.
I love those things.
Yeah, and he punches in, tosses the coin into one of the bins, and hands you back 9 silver pieces. Nods to you and goes, "Anything else I can help you folks with while you're putzing around?"
Take the little hat.
I don't think so. If everything's pretty in town, I don't think we'll need supplies, but might come by later for some camping gear, some
Always
food.
good to have anything. If you're looking for something specific, let me know. I'll be placing an order with the wagons before they leave tonight, so if I don't have it in stock, I can get it for you.
I'll be sure to let you know.
Very well, Father, and to your friends, don't get into too much trouble.
No promises.
Oh, they won't.
Arts just looks at him and laughs.
Ski's just gonna open up her little satchel that's now in the front and just opens it and just takes the little hat and puts out and just like.
What do you got in there, Ski?
Oh, my bestest friend.
Does bestest friend have a name?
Strudel.
Strudel. And
Like the pastry?
I don't know what that is.
oh, he speaks from a
Understood.
child.
We'll have to change that.
And just opens it up and pulls out a Fluffit, just holding it in the hand, be like, "This is Strudel."
Wow.
DM, since this is a creature that you have come up with, would you like to describe a Fluffit for the audience?
Yeah, what you are presenting to your compatriots here is about the size of like a common like a jackrabbit. It's small still, but it's like it's a jackrabbit that she's drawn out of here. It has a long chinchilla-like tail and like the thickest, poofiest coat you've ever seen, and its ears are fairly sharp. But it's got this like super adorable face on it that just like you can't help but like feel a little calm and relaxed on it. And I think that means we're actually probably gonna get our first roll of the game here, because, and I gotta pull them up super quick because the rules on them are a little wonky and I don't have them memorized. I know, right? It's almost like I made an
How
entire
could you?
creature and now I'm trying to remember how they operate. So I'm gonna get you all, it's a super low DC, but I'm gonna get you all to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Whiz.
So with the exception of Skileta, and like you probably willingly failed this, just knowing what these could do, all of you feel this almost passive sense of, it's almost like somebody's like whispering in you to calm down. Skileta's just like, I am calm. Thank you, Strudel.
Strudel's my emotional support, Fluffit.
But yeah, you like, anyone here would recognize a Fluffit if you saw it. They're super common creatures, and basically when presented with one, almost immediately their first reaction is to try to calm the emotions of everyone around them, which is one of their innate abilities. They're also native to the area, so they're super common.
Yeah, it's my service animal.
So you're which, darling?
My pappy says it's my service animal.
A service animal. Understood.
I don't like Strudel not being by my side.
And what color is
Can't blame
Strudel?
you. It's awful cute.
Strudel is kind of, because they're kind of like in the valley and everything, is a kind of like a light brown auburn. So like in the sun it looks a little reddish tinge.
Mhm.
But it's just like a light brown.
Get toasted strudel?
Like a toasted strudel.
Like
Yes.
the Strudel. Yes.
Guthrie leans forward and goes, "That is an adorable Fluffit. I have to say, be careful walking too close to the saloon, though. Most people that come through on cliff gliders keep them out there, and they quite like those. So maybe it's best your friend stays in your bag."
Yeah, Strudel only comes out when needed. But Strudel also, if anyone needs to pet Strudel here. Just puts it back in the bag with the. Now Strudel just has a hat on, like the little hat for sun protection, and just like barrels back into the bag.
Cute.
For the next hour here, though, in case it comes up, all of you do have advantage on being charmed or frightened, thanks to Strudel having attempted to calm your emotions.
Aww.
Phenomenal. That's my secret, Strudel. I'm always calm.
Yeah.
Always collected.
But yeah, with nothing more to do at Guthrie's, he kind of like waves at you as you walk out, and you find yourselves back on the street. What would you like to do?
Well, they said it was a train heist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Best be checking in with the conductors and folks.
Said that there was
If anyone's gonna know anything, it's gonna be one of them.
Sounds like a plan.
there's a train stop in town.
The train does not come
There's
through
no
Sandwest.
train.
No.
Well, we can
Where
talk to
does
the
it go?
farmhand.
Yeah, they said the farmhands were going to be ready in about an hour.
Yeah, they'll be
like
coming in
the-
from the fields in about an hour here.
Unless we want to go to the fields, but
I mean, we could just go look.
It's like the farm in question that they were talking about. It's probably only about an hour's walk away, anyways, and most people tend to hang out at garrisons for a long time.
Let's just take a stroll.
why not go case the joint ourselves?
Excuse me.
Ain't no better intel than the type you collect yourself.
No, you're not wrong there, Father.
I'm not wrong about a lot of things.
He's
Father knows best.
just me. You have lots of kids.
More than you can count, darling.
I will try to be respectful to all of them.
That's what it's about.
I like this crew. Y'all are good morals. I like that.
So the plan then is to head to the abandoned farm and then give it a check out
Yep.
then, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a fairly simple walk. The road is mostly paved, like not paved per se, but maintained most of the way there. It's pretty quick and easy to tell which one they're talking about as you get closer, and the town itself, the road kind of begins to become unused and fall into kind of almost just like a dirt trail, less than the more maintained roads that you're used to. As you walk down to to this, you find the junction that entered onto the farmway originally, and wander yourself onto it. It's a fairly large property, probably 60-70 acres, easily. One of the smaller properties though in the area, and it's currently overgrown with wheat and barley that have been planted at one point and then abandoned and are now just kind of growing rampant as they want. So it's not neat and orderly, and there's not really a trail towards the old farmhouse as you wander your way through.
Well, looks like no one's been here for a while. Can I look through the grass, the wheat and barley that's been left? Is there any depressions in it, tracks, things like that?
Roll me an insight check.
Insight, not investigation?
Investigation would probably be the one I'm referring to.
What motives do you have, Grass?
Well, I got nothing.
As you
This
look
sure
through,
is some wheat.
it's barley, and it doesn't really look like anyone's been here in a while, as far as you can tell.
I think Flint would instinctively break off a twig of barley and just put it in his teeth.
Everyone hydrate.
Tasty. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look over and be like, does that taste good?
I mean, after it's been processed properly, makes for a decent set of pancakes.
Makes for a great toothpick right now, though. I got this little piece of meat.
Do you always take to pruning yourself on the job, Flint?
I mean, I'm always on the job, so when are you not going to do it? Gotta
That's
do
a
it.
sad life. I wish
Well-
you find rest soon.
I wish I'd find my daughter sooner.
Fair
Can't really
enough.
quit when evil's holding her. So
Is
has to do what I gotta do.
is that your granddaughter?
Yeah, that would be my. Actually, that's just my daughter. She'd call me father too.
It's weird how this really. If you haven't encountered the relationship of the church or churches yet, it is kind of a strange one. Everyone is their fathers or daughters, or sons and daughters rather.
It's the difference between a father and a dad.
I see you're confused. Lots of people are.
Don't worry.
Don't think about it too hard.
Mysteries.
Okay.
But I do.
Just walks away, not processing anything. Just okay.
Well, shoot.
Just go over to Heart, be like, does that make him your dad too?
Heart's a little special.
These are the faces that Hearts is making right now, by the way.
Just big innocent eyes, just like, is he your dad? Is she your dad too?
As far as I'm concerned, Hearts doesn't have much of a father at all.
It's so sad.
It's it's all right, kid. You'll understand someday.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, like Hearts just sits there like
How's this
these
barn
different
look?
expressions, like one after the other, and just finally is like, "No, I don't know how. No,
How do I
this
explain
is-
this?
this is a small innocent bunny. No."
Well,
So
we-
can Ski just like, because they do like to wander off. I know another trait that's gonna be great for this party. Likes to wander off and look at stuff. Can they just go into the barn and just be like, "Ooh," and just investigate the barn?
Yeah, so it's there's kind of three structures on the property. There's the barn itself, and then there's a small farmhouse, and then there's what looks to be like an old set of stables that exists. So you want to investigate the barn first, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Hi, I'd like to interject as we start to investigate everything.
Yes.
Father Sophia Belle will reach into her long coat and pull out what seems to be a regular revolver, but the shine to it is something different, something special. She goes, "Okay, folks, we best keep our eyes sharp. May the divine guide you all, and let's see if we can pick up the trail." And I'm gonna use my holy weapon feat, Sermon of Divination. I deliver a divinely inspired sermon, granting yourself and your allies advantage on intelligence-based skill checks and saving throws for 10 minutes.
Oh, thank God.
That's really good.
Nice.
All right, I will
Um,
roll with investigation.
And can I also just suggest, like, I do.
Good thing you had advantage.
A 0.
My God, a 0. But it's a 13.
I'm
Yes.
I'm somehow impressed and like shocked all at once. Um,
Amazing.
To surprise everybody, Skileta is not intelligent.
uh,
Either is Colt.
I don't like that angle. I gotta fix that. But yeah, with a 13 investigation on the barn itself, it's a dilapidated old barn. You can tell people have come in here at some point recently, like more recent than the facility's been abandoned. But it feels more like squatters to your initial impressions.
I'll just poke my head up and be like, "People were here. I think they just slept."
Okay.
Can I like go check out other buildings?
Yeah, what do you want to look at?
I'd like to look at the
Um,
stables.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
And
And-
also look for like any like thieves can't like writing as well.
okay, give me an investigation on the thieves' can't check first.
15.
Okay. With a 15, you're going to notice that it's not really thieves' cant. This is more general defacing that's happened. Like you can see people have like carved
Like
names
graffiti.
into right. It's that kind of stuff that's happened. People have carved their names into stuff, or they've been like, oh,
Penis.
yeah, like general
Yeah.
general basic stuff like that, where it's a little bit less intense and not really like logical. It looks like somebody at one point has like copied another piece of like thieves' cant they have seen somewhere, but it makes no sense. Like it's pieces of a thieves' cant that's been like carved into things, and it's just complete nonsense.
Okay.
Can I read that?
Like the
Thieves can't.
it's in this case it's more of a series of symbols.
Oh, okay.
Like it literally looks like somebody saw like, probably a real thieves' cant somewhere and was like half remembering it, and had like decided to like also carve the same symbol. Like, you know, people like are like, oh, that piece of graffiti was really cool, so I want to like also do that piece of graffiti, and it's never the same.
For sure.
Yes. Flint would also just be looking around for clues and stuff like that.
Give me an investigation check as well.
Well,
I'm actually
yes, I
pretty
do have-
good at this. This is kind of what I do back home. Come on.
A 21, a dirty
21.
With a 21, looking at the stables, you get kind of a, especially with your, you know, your bounty hunting background, you know when a place has been only really used by transients. You can tell the difference between like a hideout and a place that somebody is like actively working towards, you know, doing something with. Like there's a known difference between somebody who's abandoned a place and somebody who's attempting to make a place look abandoned. And this does not look like somebody's attempting to make it abandoned. This is just straight up an abandoned stables.
Yeah. I don't think this place here has been the operations base that we're looking for.
I'd surmise about the same.
If that's the case,
Didn't find anything in the barley outside. Anyone coming in or out would have left marks.
then I don't see why we should stay around here. Let's go.
As you head back towards town, then, having some eyes that this is probably not the place you're looking for, the sun's already starting to set. It's been a busy day for you so far, and as you get towards town, you find yourselves heading in as many of the farm hands themselves are, and the town feels livelier in a different way. This is more people that have spent the day working, spent the day busy and doing things, and now they're looking for an opportunity to unwind. And there's only really one place to do that in Sand Mist, and that's Garrison.
Absolutely. Now, on our way there, I'd like to take a stop at one of the stone walls that dots the main road. Those little fence posts, and at a specific one, a very specific one, there's a crack in one of them stones. I'm going to take a small green gem and slide it into that crack, and I'm going to use my background feature to contact my criminal contact to see if I can get in contact with them tonight. The stone is a symbol of, like, meet me at the church, you know, tonight at whatever, because I got questions.
Roll me...
Whether he sees it
roll
or
me a
not.
D100. A percent
sure.
die, if you would. A
60.
Okay, with a 60, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? The rest of you, if there's anything else you guys want to do today.
Oh, we want to go look at the saloon.
Sounds like a
Right,
good bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to the farmhand.
Okay.
And Casper also has a similar thing called Ear to the Ground for his background, urban bounty hunter.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that I'm in frequent contact with people in the segment of society that my chosen quarries move through, so like my bounties and stuff. And it says these people might be associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and tumble folks of the streets, or members of a high society. The connection comes in the form of a contact in any city that you visit, a person who provides information about the people and the places of the local area. So I might have someone around that I can just...
It's the same guy.
Yeah, exactly. The same guy. I would love that. That actually makes so much sense, though. He's the guy.
I have
just
two
lying.
meetings at the
And
same
you know
time.
Carl?
The secretary double booked me.
Okay. I'll leave you guys. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll play that out once you've had an opportunity to experience the tavern of the town. Although it's not a tavern, it's a saloon here, because we're in cowboy times, if you would. You enter Garrison's, and it is a large building, and it kind of meets at a junction where there's two pieces to it. One part is the former mess hall turned saloon. The other part is the barracks. But you always enter in through the barracks section. They've closed off the area that is the mess hall. So you enter in, or closed off the door that would have led originally to the mess hall. So you enter in, and there's a desk that's been constructed in the beginning. And then, off to your left takes you can hear the sounds of people drinking and chanting. Somebody's playing a piano. It's a fairly lively place. At the desk, Colton is one of the women that you, the elven people that you saw before, is a fair-skinned woman who's standing there, who kind of looks at you as you enter, and she goes, "Oh, hello, Father. And I see our strange new guest has arrived."
Another child.
They always come and they always leave. Such is the way of sand mist.
This is I gotta get them right because their names confuse me. This is Daywin. She owns the garrison. She is a very lively woman, well known in the area for her almost eccentricities when it comes to managing the facility. She's kept a lot of the charm of a barracks, and she thought that was a great idea and a unique selling point. Anyone who's ever been inside a barracks knows that is anything but the case. So it feels Spartan and a little cold and somewhat unwelcoming. And she is dressed to match the part. She's wearing an old soldier's jacket that she's cut the sleeves off of. She's got like 3 different rank medallions like sewn on in the wrong spots. But like she rocks it. It's one of those things where like she's a little weird and everyone knows that about her. But it's what makes her endearing, and it almost seems like it makes the Spartan and drab interior that you've walked into feel so much more lively and so much more bright.
I mean, this is
I see
definitely
you.
where Hearts has spent the most time in town. So I'm just gonna pull up a seat at the bar and just kind of like toss a little terrible salute. And just kind of settle in, probably a fairly usual spot.
With like very like where Daywin was like waving and smiling, the somewhat more stoic of the two is Elnora, and you would be very familiar with him because he runs the bar. His wife might own everything, but he runs the bar. And he has a mind like a steel trap. So he's very quick to, as soon as you sit down, flick a shot of whiskey towards you. And it's like instinct. As soon as your butt touches that seat, it's there waiting for you.
There's reason that I find this place so much like home.
It must be my ever-winning charm.
Oh, that and your spectacular beauty.
Don't let my wife hear you saying that. She probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Gosh, never would.
He nods to the rest of you, goes, "Father," to Sophia as she walks by.
Another child. You have a big family tree.
and he sets
The largest.
And he sets to work. He's like serving the bar and dropping food off. This space, the entryway to the space that you came in, it still felt like a barracks. This place does not. It feels like a saloon that you can truly relax at. There's small, intimate tables. There's music going. There's a fire going in the hearth. Like, it's a space that's lively and exciting and energetic. People are having a good time, and it feels like it's a place that people want to congregate around.
Get some great dancing going in here on a Friday night.
Ski's gonna climb up onto a stool, just like just climbs up and sits down.
Now, little one, Puffball, can you drink?
Never
old
had
enough?
one before.
Alright. And Father will tap the bar in front of in front of Ski.
Elnora looks at you like Father with this look of like, or like what's the vibe like? Hair, like you see like he's like checking his mind for something, and he recognizes that Ski's technically old enough to drink for a Haragon, but there's that moment of like they just said they've never drank, so it's one of those like, how badly are we fucking up this child tonight? Like, look, that's what the look that's exchanged with you is.
Not. I'll just shoot him a look back with the like, and a little like move of the jacket to reveal the little adventurer's badge, to be like a little bit, but we're on the job, so.
Okay. And he comes over with just a mug of beer, like that's it. And he's like,
Bingo.
and looks at you, Father, and kind of was like, what's the vibe? Like,
I'll take. I'll take that stuff you make yourself out back.
we don't make anything out back. That would be illegal. But if we did, and he like reaches under the bar and like pours something and then like puts it down, and it's clear. Like it's a special level of clear. That says to you like,
water.
this is pure. This is it might taste like booze, but it's mostly alcohol in a very high percentage.
That good old Garrison paint thinner.
Oh, can I have some water too?
Yeah.
You don't want
And,
this.
and he comes
Not-
back with a
not that
water
water.
glass, and he just puts it down.
There you go.
He's like, no. Like we're like he gives like Sophia a look that says like, I would never.
No. It's a mutual feeling.
So he's just gonna pick up the beer and just start sipping it. It's like it's getting in
Divine
my
blessings be
nose.
upon you. And she'll tap the bar and take the shot.
He points to Flint next to like, what's your poison?
Yeah, Flint's just like, first off, like he would have mentally just taken a note of the whole like, that would be illegal thing, and then proceeds to do something clearly like illegal, and it's just like, all right, well, nothing's been established yet. Like this person doesn't know like what's going on. Like we haven't like introduced ourselves as that, so we're just gonna play it cool, just like keep it calm, just observe things as best as possible. And he's gonna be like, honestly, I love a really nice glass of water. I've had a lot of dust in my mouth today, and I'm pretty parched, and do want to keep my head clear just for now. I'm new to town, and I don't want to be accidentally taken advantage of.
He pours water from a jug, puts it down in front of you, and looks at you for a second. I need you to roll me a deception check.
The real question is,
Alright.
are you a narc?
I'm who narcs go to. Deception is only a plus 17.
Can I also roll insight on that?
17.
Okay. Okay.
I do have proficiency in it,
Yeah.
but I'm not a wise or charismatic guy.
He scrutinizes you for a second. It's the look of somebody looking at you being like, do I like you or not? And then he shrugs, passes you the water, and looks over at the last member of your collection at Colt, smiles at you and nods, and goes, what about you?
Do you have wine?
I think I got some stuff that one of the farm boys made in a bathtub. So, yeah, we got wine, but I think if what you're asking for is what you're asking for, I don't got that kind of wine.
Oh.
Nah.
I guess just an ale then.
An ale, okay. And as he's pouring a beer from his tap, he looks at you and goes, you strike me as the kind of fellow who's got a strong sense of himself. And he looks over at Hearts and just tilts his head up ever so slightly so his nose is in the air, and looks back at you and goes, I got something you should try before you settle on the ale for sure. And he reaches and he pulls a bottle, and it's a nice bottle, and he pours you it's not a shot glass, but it's not quite a highball glass, almost a taster of it, and he kind of slides it towards you and goes, give that a try first.
Yeah, no, Colt will reach out, kind of swirl it, maybe give it a sniff, and take a sip.
Okay, roll me Constitution really quickly.
Just a con?
Just a straight con check, save. Con check, not a save. Just con, straight con.
I would love to, if I can figure out how to do that. Oh, do I just click on the...
Yeah, you should be able to.
Oh, I figured it out.
This is, so what he's handed you is bourbon. It's a fairly nice bourbon, but it's also your first time trying bourbon. And for anyone who's never had the experience of trying a nice glass of bourbon, it's a bit harsh. And it makes you gag a little bit, and it makes you kind of sputter and cough. And he goes, okay, we'll start you on the lighter stuff and work you up to there. And he hands you the beer, and goes, anything else I can help you find folks out with tonight before I attend to the rest of everyone?
So is there still a glass there that like mostly has bourbon in it, or did it all go in one?
Colt, would you have drank the whole thing?
Probably what, just like a quarter of an inch in the glass? Not even?
Like you're talking, like maybe half the size of one of these. And Eddie would have, filled like half of it a little bit to see what you thought.
Yeah, there would have been some left.
Okay.
If
Hearts is just watching from the end of the bar, like making sure, there's no good bourbon going to waste.
In that case, Colt, if he sees their eye in it, would probably hold up a glass and be like, and then slide it down.
Yeah, you're gonna drink.
I would like to intercept it.
My drink, bitch.
Roll me opposed dexterity, I guess. Both of you roll dexterity, see who gets to it first.
Just straight dex.
Just straight
Not
dex.
sleight of hand?
I'll give you sleight of hand.
I don't know why I argued for it. It's
No, no.
I have expertise in sleight of hand.
The father tried and tried hard, but like you go to like reach out for it, and it's like she's like a snake. It's just like she grabs it, she pulls it back, and then you kind of like thwack your hand. You know that way on a bar when you catch your arm just wrong?
Yeah.
You get the tinglies. Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but you're like, oh, I regret that decision.
Ever the Viper, Hearts.
Flint
Ever
is
the
definitely gonna like pick up on Heart's quick fucking like rattlesnake fucking hands there. Be like, damn, all right.
Didn't mean to hurt you though, there, dear.
Ain't nothing time won't fix.
I believe when you smack that part of your arm, it's giving it the wave, and Elnora does that kind of laughingly, and he kind of points to all of you and goes, "You good?"
Can I have another?
We're good.
As Keys is finished.
And he like, you can see him like think about it for a second, and he like pours half the glass and puts it down and goes, "You finish that, and then you're gonna stand up and walk from one end of the bar to the other end of the bar, and we'll see if you get another."
Oh, it's a game. Okay.
And he walks out from behind the bar really quickly, and you see him like chatting to tables and stuff like that really quickly throughout the bar, checking on people, seeing what drink levels look like and everything like that.
Now, Diane? Was that her name?
Daywin.
Daywin. Now, Daywin, I don't have much of a need for another drink, but we're looking for some information. You wouldn't happen to know anything about a train heist that happened recently, did you?
She kind of like ponders it for a second. She goes, "That's an odd question for you, Father. But I people whisper. People like to talk, and they especially like to talk to my husband. And I definitely have heard some news.
Yeah, you wouldn't be willing to share that news with us, would you?
There's not a whole lot I can share, realistically. I know a new band of idiots decided that they were gonna try and take on a train. It sounds like they were successful. Less fortunate for them, it sounds like what they stole drew the ire of the mighty dragon that is the Bankers Guild. And it sounds like they've pissed some people off. Definitely been a lot of casual backdoor requests to see about making it go away. But I gotta ask, Father, it's not often you'd be asking about something like that. What's on your mind?
Well, unfortunately, we've been tasked with finding these fine folks. I'm not one to stop the goings-on of Sand Mist, but, when you stomp on a boot big enough, it tends to stomp back.
I would say that's a pretty fair understanding of what's happened here. Now, I don't suppose the adventure companies finally came through and called your debt due, and that's what we're looking at here, right?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
If the boys come on back and try to pawn it off on you again, you let them know that if they put their guns down, we'll let them off easy.
Well, they wouldn't dare show their faces around here. We have a very simple understanding. We've worked with a co-op for years, and we have a very good relationship with the Bankers Guild. I would rather not be on the bad side of either of them, but it appears that somebody's done some whispering and some talking, and from what I understand, they've got something that they want to pawn off real quick.
Is she looking around the bar at all? Is she taking a glance at a specific
Eyes are
table?
on you. Like she's like laser focused.
Phenomenal. Gotcha. Well, I guess I'll have to talk to your husband then.
I'm sure somebody's told him a little bit more than they've told me.
He's gonna go for a walk.
Pleasant evening.
How's that gonna go? I wanna know.
Roll me Constitution. This one is a save. Oh wow!
You got the Constitution.
You are a natural born drinker. You stand up and you're like, yeah, and you kind of trudge from one end to the other and the other end. And what you're watching, I'm gonna get everyone really quickly to roll me a quick perception check.
Ooh, that's nice.
Perception. 10.
So
Me too.
Colton and Flint, both of you immediately peg the fact that where Elnor had stopped, as soon as Ski had stood up, he had stopped, and the entire table he was sitting with had turned to look, and they were watching intensely. And what they all watched was this proud Haragon pace to one end of the bar, turn around, pace all the way to the back, and sit back on their chair. The table exchanges a series of laughs and kind of a good hearty chuckle, and some coins are tossed around between each other, and he waves a hand off at them. And, returns to the bar pretty quick here. But before we get into that, we are going to jump for our second break of the day, which means we're going to do 3 more minutes of sponsored messages, I guess we'll call them.
After these messages.
After these messages.
So for those of you that are hanging out, we'll be back in 3 minutes here.
This could be your ad.
Yeah, to make sure that you guys don't miss any of the hot action, we got to keep Twitch happy. So we'll see you all in 3 minutes. And we are back. And in the immortal words of an important corporation, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Hey, they should pay for that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us all a Kit Kat. And we'll
I'm gonna
say
eat Wendy's and shit like a regular man.
It's gonna drop dead on you all. Don't mind me.
This is what Kit Kat does.
Yes, that's exactly the message I want to send to children.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the Kit Kat to worse pipeline. I walked out of this break and I'm stuck like this now. I can't go back.
This is who
That's
I
how
am
we talk now.
Is who I am now.
I did not bring enough Kit Kat for the whole class. Anyways,
Wow. Wow.
No.
Really well, yeah. Wow.
when we had last
No, James.
before we went to break, we had just witnessed a Haragon get their first drink, and like a champ, absolutely knock it back with no problems.
It
The-
tastes like Papa's juice that he used to have all the time.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But you are, you're at the bar now. You've learned that the news of the heist has definitely made its way around. Just for James.
Wow. Oh,
Monster.
no. Well, at least he didn't do it with the full bar where he just went like this and just went.
I already broke it into pieces. I would have had to put it back together. Too much work. But yeah. So it's there was a table that had made a bet on it. Some money had been won. Some money had been lost. But all around, people seem pretty overall pretty pleased with the situation. Is there anything, is there anyone you specifically want to talk to? Is there anyone you guys want to look for? What's the vibe?
Well, I'm pretty sure they want to talk to the bartender now because they know more info.
Elnora?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Right?
Perfect.
Elnora.
He's just gonna be like, what do I win?
The right to keep drinking.
More drink.
And he goes, it'll be on me. I feel that's only fair. And he kind of passes you another full mug.
Yay! Papa juice! Just started sipping it.
Just remember that you are working.
But it's just juice.
Oh,
He is like a
some
seasoned drinker.
You guys, just make sure if she passes out, you carry her somewhere safe. That's all I ask.
Speaking
I
of
used to
which,
drink like 8 of these with Papa. Okay.
Do we have a room set up for us already?
The Frontier Adventure Company would have provided you guys with rooms and accommodations at the facility.
Okay.
Okay.
Just check.
Oh, my friends want to ask you questions.
I'm an open book. What can I do for you?
Well, we've heard of a train robbery that's happened, and we've been kind of tasked to investigate some missing pieces.
So you're more treasure hunters looking out for the banking guild's missing money, hey?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't.
Treasure Hunters is a little below us.
Yeah, not treasure hunters.
That's
More
rude.
like, hired for a good task to help out these fine folks over at the bankery.
Fine might be a bit of a stretch for what most banking folk are like, but I'll take it. If you're looking for more information, I unfortunately don't have a whole lot more to share with you. It's an upstart gang. They kind of passed through the old abandoned mill, and that's the only reason that anyone knows that it was them that did it, because they were dumb enough to brag about it. And then
Old abandoned mill.
yeah, about halfway between here and Redstone Springs, there's the old mill that used to be used for saw. It's an old sawmill. It mostly these days just gets used as a temporary encampment because of all the old working houses out there. Lots of places to sleep, and it keeps you out of the weather. People do the right thing and just keep it up. not much really out there, but a lot of folks pass through.
Passing through, would you come across some hoodoos around that area?
Yeah, hoodoos aren't far off from that. If you go north instead of south on the trail, you'd find yourself in the hoodoos.
Fair, fair. Now, you said it's a new and upcoming gang. Have they established themselves a name yet at all? You familiar?
I've heard 3 or 4 of them. So from what I understand, it's all of them trying to figure out, what the name would actually be. Hold on here, and he kind of like turns around real quick, and he's like looking at like a couple of like scraps behind him.
Yeah. Like classic trying to get a name together for a group. It's always hard.
Yeah, usually when you get a bunch of people together, you all have to try and figure out a name. You end up with something like real stupid, like what sounds like Latin, but it's not Latin. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we need a group name?
That's big shots there.
You know what? I will only get one, and I'm gonna take it.
That's fair.
Fox what? That sounds like...
Yeah, one of them tried to call themselves the Crimson Serpents, which sounds dumb, especially because that's typically, gonna be a dangerous snake, but you usually have to earn a name like that. One of them just called themselves the Train Boys, which... a little on the nose.
That's my favorite. I like that one.
That's fair.
Simple.
And one of them just simply wanted to refer to themselves as the Gang, which, from the sounds of it, is the kind of people you're dealing with. About as original and initiative, like, drawn out as you'd expect from...
Okay, they're not gonna last
On
long.
the trail for the Black Phoenix gang. You ever hear of them?
The Black Phoenix Gang. Name sounds familiar. Not in these parts, though.
Let me know if you ever hear word of any of that as well. But all right, so Crimson Serpents, the Train Boys, and the gang. You said 3 or 4?
I think it's a 3 I've got. I don't know if there's any
Fair.
other ones really out there.
Oh, we'll our ears open.
Do you know where they went?
If I had to guess, I'd say they'd scrambled off somewhere where they couldn't be found. They ran their mouths near the mill, which means it's probably close to where they are. That's about all I could tell you.
Okay,
Is
that's a
there any
starting point.
caves by the mill that we were said to maybe look at?
Any what,
Yeah,
sorry?
there are.
Any caves by the
Any
mill
other
that they
hoodoos?
said that
So-
we should probably look at?
There's hoodoos over there, which means there's probably going to be caves and stuff.
Okay.
Alright, well,
No.
that seems like the direction.
Can't get you into too much trouble going to take a look. I'm assuming you're, gonna go out there, tell them what's what, scare them off, send them off on their own, set them straight, all that good jazz.
Well, either that or, bring them back in, put them in jail for their crimes,
Well,
or turn ourselves executioner. Whatever happens, happens.
I mean, they wouldn't be the first people to die from people that were better than them putting them down on the ground, especially out there. A lot of skeletons.
lots of people die out there.
Do these skeletons ever, pick themselves up and take up swords?
Are you asking if the skeletons are undead?
Weird things happen.
I mean, I suppose out there's enough folk that have, wandered too long between the desert and the prairies that they're gonna go a little wild on the frontier. I bet you there's more than 1 or 2 of them that have decided to try and raise themselves an army. Although, I don't really know if skeletons would be much of a good army. Never really put much thought into it.
I find they're a little too brittle.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Father. No meat, no tendons to hold it together. If you ever cut up an animal carcass, as soon as you cut those tendons, everything just kind of falls apart.
It's a good crack when you go through it properly.
Suppose that's right, yeah?
Could be.
Just sip in the mug, be like,
I feel like you've got more stories to tell, little one. I'm real excited to see you around here more.
does this make you my friend?
I am most people's friend.
Oh, I'm Ski. You will now be my 6th friend.
And he kind of counts the four of you and goes, I feel like that number might be off a little, but okay.
They got it.
It just pulls
That's
out
the
a
right
tally
number.
book. I got 6 friends. I had no friends at the beginning of the day.
It's a notebook, and it's like, you know, all of the diary things, and it's just like a page reserved. It says like friend count, and that's really old ink, and like it's now all the new tallies are brand new. Like, a friend but yeah, anything else you guys need tonight, or anyone else you want to bother? I'm sure some of the farm hands could use a little bit of a jump scare to think that one of their illegal moonshining rigs has been caught or something. It'd be funny to watch, at least.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to that in the next couple of nights, but I think we're going to try to figure this rail thing going, but we were supposed to talk to them anyway, so
Yeah.
might have a little more information. Talk to a farmhand.
Or 2.
There's like the table. It's mostly what it is. The area around Sand Mist is mostly made up of ranches, so a lot of the folks that are here typically find themselves working on the ranches themselves.
Is it possible just to like watch one of the tables of obvious farmhands and see like when one of them like goes like to the bathroom or something, and just to kind of like corner one off to the side, as opposed to like come up to a group of probably like pretty formidably strong men
Rootin'
Be
tootin'
like,
cowboy
hey.
pooping.
So, you're,
I don't want to try to intimidate a table of 8, you know.
So the plan, just to be sure I'm clear on it, is to wait for one of them to get up to go to the bathroom, and then you're going to follow that man to the bathroom, and to intimidate him there, right?
Just like into the beginning of the bathroom, you know.
I mean, or we could
the
butter him
whole
up a
thing
little
about it.
bit, buy a ram for the table.
I like
That's
Heart's
also
Just
idea.
smart.
do talk.
I think my way, you think yours. That's a cool idea too.
You track more bees with honey than you do vinegar, Mr. Flint.
I think I'm with Hearts
not
on this.
Also, get a couple more drinks in him, and one of them's bound to have to go to the restroom.
Plan B falls into Plan A.
Eleonora's standing there, like, cleaning a mug with his back to you, and he's, like, visibly laughing at the entire situation. Like, you can
feel
see
like-
his shoulders shaking, and he's just clearly like, oh my god.
We're taking the job too
Can
seriously.
we just ask them? They might be our new friends.
Well, let's start with
Sorry,
that round of
Eleanor.
drinks.
They're a
You know,
little bit fresh.
Green.
Green.
can I-
Take little nips of milk here and there, you know.
Can I ask what's his name? Elnora?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Elnora, can I get a round of what does that table typically enjoy drinking? What are the farmhands like around here?
Farmhands like anything cold and wet. So, you know, beer's the go-to, because you can buy a lot of it for cheap.
Well, then I'll buy a round of it for cheap if you don't mind.
Sure. And he, he comes, you know, pours a like 6 glasses of beer, slides them over towards you guys, and goes, feel free.
All right. Then pick them up, and I guess we'll go over to the table. Who wants to?
I'll go with you.
I'll just watch.
And start handing them out. I'm just like looking over, and like I was expecting a heart. Like, okay, well, this was your idea.
No, I was
He's just
gonna
gonna be like-
wait, let them get a couple of sips in, and then just kind of do the little like, "You're welcome."
He's just gonna watch and be like, he's gonna get beat up, isn't he?
I especially love that the take on this is that Flint is going to bring over all of these beers, drop them off, and then Hearts is going to take credit for having paid for them.
Yeah. I'll probably be like, I'm just gonna, as I just, like walk up to them and start handing them out, I'll be like, "Hi, gentlemen, nice to meet you. New in town, but Hearts sent me over here to pass you off some drinks, and you're gonna see me like point at you." And just like
Just a
reference.
little wave.
Heart is a very pretty woman, so I feel like pretty woman just bought them
Now,
drinks.
y'all
That's-
should consider yourselves very lucky that someone like her should be handing over drinks to the likes of you.
so insulting though.
But like in a friendly, like, you know.
What do you mean?
Hearts,
Mr.
should I just shoot him now? To less embarrass them.
He's going to get beat up. I sense it.
Right behind me, all right. You got my back.
No, as soon as I hear that, I'm Colt like stacks up. I'm not part of this.
I am now also back to the table and laughing.
He's just gonna look at Colt and you're gonna be like, so he's making a mistake, right?
I'm gonna use my naturally stealthy.
Yeah, so they take the drinks and they're giving you this look that says like, okay, first of all, fuck you, but second of all, like, how do you know hearts? And they're drinking their beer and they kind of like all just turn away from, like, no thank yous. They all just kind of are like,
All right, I text sense of boundaries being set, so I'm going to respect that. I'm going to walk away. I'll have a great
He's just gonna be
evening.
like,
As you're walking away, one of them leans over and is like, city slicker who moved out here to try and buy ranch land, and the other one leans over back and goes, I bet she's gonna try and buy the abandoned property and then go missing.
I'm going to clock that, but I'm not going to do anything about it yet.
I
I'm going to
guess.
like tag you in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I'm up then.
All right,
So,
warm them up. They're all
Hearts
yours.
is gonna stand up with like a really like kind of slow stretch. Pick up whatever is left of her whiskey in one hand and wander over to the table. Just kind of like rest a hand on the shoulder of the nearest farmhand and say, we enjoying our drinks over here, gentlemen?
Yes, Miss Hearts, we definitely
Everyone
are.
hydrate.
Nope, shit. Where'd my water go? Here it is.
Now, I must admit, I do have a bit of an ulterior motive. I'm hoping that we can sit down and talk about a couple of things here.
Wow, I suppose that depends what you want to talk about, Miss Hearts.
I'm trying to think what the best way is to approach it. No, I think that like just like a very conspiratorial lean in. Like, well, I was hoping that, at least one of you might have heard something about a train heist recently. A little bit of a robbery, as it were.
I'm gonna get you to give me. I'm gonna get you to just give me a straight charisma roll, because it's not quite a persuasion.
Sure. So straight charisma.
Yeah, just straight charisma. We'll see how that plays out for you.
Heart's the best at making friends.
We're gonna call that a
Wow.
nat 20.
Nice.
First nat
No.
20 of the campaign,
Yeah.
and it's to
It's to impress some drunk farmhands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like they're all like they're clearly been like here for a while. It took, you guys went out. It took you an hour to get back. You kind of meandered about. You've chatted with people. You sat at the bar. They've had time to put a few beers back, so they're all feeling a little boisterous. And one of them goes, well, in fact, Miss Hart, I definitely have heard about a heist that took place recently.
Well, that is exactly what I was hoping to hear. Now, what can you tell me about it?
Well,
A little like hair twirl around the finger,
and this younger man is like swooned, and he's like, well, Miss Hearts, you see, I think the thing that we heard is that this little train robbery wasn't supposed to be a big train. These guys, they thought they were getting a small train. It was going to be small time, and they ran off, scared shitless, and they don't even know what they got. They've been trying to hawk it every black market they could. They even came through here not long ago, and they were saying that they were going to sell it to the first person who was willing to take it for the price they were asking. Now, they don't know what's in the box, so I think that what they're doing is that they're trying to get as much money as they can for it. I suspect it's probably just like banknotes or maybe some like, debtor's checks. Things that like the bank finds really important because they want it back real bad. Everyone's been hearing about it. And yeah, I think that's what we're looking at here is that they're just looking to sell it as quickly as they can. They wanted 2,000 gold pieces for it. They said it's magically locked. It's got to be worth that. And I don't know. I think they're a bit stupid.
Well, I mean, that is one of the oldest scams in the book. Oh, it's magically locked. It's worth so much money. And then, you got yourself an empty box with a magical lock on it.
Right?
But
that's what we were saying. Wasn't I saying that to you the other day? And like the guy's like, yes, you were saying that the other day. Of course it sounds like a scam. Who would have a magical box?
Now, I will admit I'm interested in who would come by here through our town and try to pull a scam like that on our friends.
What were they calling themselves? They were some rattlesnake, wasn't it? And he's like, no, the red snakes. And he's like, crimson snakes. And they're like, yeah, that's what they called themselves. Young kids, too. Like, I don't think one of them's actually an adult. I think he's just some dumb kid with a gun.
Shame.
Well, that's interesting. And, I mean, they're not from around here, but they came through town?
Nah, I don't. I think you know what? If I had to guess from the way they talked and the clothes they wore, I bet you they're from from Talum, that little mining town and that industry town. I bet you that's where they came from, looking for a better life, and they got stupid.
I mean, looking for a better life has made fools of greater men than that. Well, honestly, I appreciate this information so much. If I have any more questions, do you mind if I stop by and look for you?
Miss Hotz, we love to see you come and love to watch you go. You're welcome here anytime.
Well, that is awful sweet of you, and I can't thank you enough. And she leans down and presses like a little kiss to his cheek, like leaves this like little red lipstick mark.
There's some hooting and hollering, and
He's just gonna look at Flint and be like, "You can't make friends."
Oh, I'm gonna admit I can't do what she can do.
Heart makes
That's
best
okay.
friends really fast.
We all have different talents there, Ski.
Real good friends.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how
Well,
the family
Hearts is
gets so
gonna
big.
kind of saunter back over to the bar, but laugh as she sits down. Like, all right, well, I mean, I think that went okay, and we'll fill the others in on what these guys said.
Yeah, that sounds like a proper lead.
I apologize.
Now,
everyone.
there is the possibility that they could have made some of it up to try and be impressive, like drunken boys are wont to do, but
Ain't nothing impressive about a child with a gun.
Is that even legal?
well, now, maybe if we find this child with a gun, you can teach him a bit of a lesson there.
Eh,
Well, shall we rest up for the evening and then head out in the morning?
I think that's the best idea you've had all day, Flint.
I'm full of great ideas. You'll see.
Heading back
mean-
to, I'm assuming you guys are gonna settle up your tab and head over to your quarters.
Yes.
Yeah, if we're just going straight back there to go to bed, Hearts is gonna just order one more whiskey, toss back.
He's like, "Can I get one of those?"
I think you might have had enough for tonight, sweetheart. But
Aw.
hey, we'll come back. I do love this place.
I can learn so much from you to make more friends.
Now, Miss Ski, they say beer before liquor, never been sicker, and you've had a lot of beer. So tomorrow night, when you come back, or whenever you're next back through our door, I promise you can try anything behind the bar, almost.
I want to try that spicy water.
That's part of the almost that I mentioned.
Oh,
we'll-
okay.
To be honest, I steer clear of that stuff too.
Okay.
Takes a real special constitution.
But
for
his
that.
dad drinks it.
Yeah. Well, I ain't
Yeah,
exactly
when I
your
speak
regular
of a real
type.
special constitution, that is one of the folks I'm referring to.
Okay.
You just focus on pacing yourself for now, sweetheart, and I'll ruffle your hair.
Okay.
You guys head back, settle up your tabs, head back to the Frontier Adventure Company, and as though he hasn't moved, Nalbec is still sitting at the same spot you left him, at the head of the table, but this time he's got, it's a pile of books around him that he's got kind of, spread out around, and he's leafing through them, and it looks like he's referencing something, and he kind of looks at one for a little bit, puts it aside, picks up another one, leafs through, finds something, and he's got paper that he's writing on, and as you come up the stairs, he kind of regards you for a second, reaches into his robes, pulls out 5 keys, and just places them on the table and goes, "Your rooms are upstairs, they've been set up for you. I'd tell you I started fires for you to keep your rooms warm, but I'm not much one for lying, so I'm sorry."
Thank you, best friend Taz. And just
You're bad at it anyway.
just wanders over and takes that key and be like, "Yay!"
Wait, was that Taz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Was there also a guy named Nelback?
It's his first name.
Nelback?
Nalbec
It's his
Tazbor.
first name.
Yeah.
Nelback Tazbor. Okay, thank you so much.
And you guys were like, "We're gonna call him Taz." And he's just like, "Please don't."
Yeah. Colt decided to call him Jeff, and everyone just hopped on board.
Yeah.
He believes making friends means you shorten their name.
Me, David, does not believe that. But,
Val?
Why use lot word when few word work?
But yeah, you guys head up to your rooms. They're Spartan-ish. They're clearly the old officer rooms, so they're nicer than if you were sleeping even in the hotel rooms. Some of the nicer hotel rooms these are fairly nice. They've got their own fireplace in them. They've got their own beds that are fairly large. There's a dresser, and then there's a chest at the foot of it, and then there's actually places specifically on the walls where you can keep weapons. This was built for it. It's new stuff though. The sheets are clean. Everything's been put out there neat and tidy, and it's fairly comfortable stuff. Definitely more than you guys would have experienced on your apprenticeship. At the very least, they've made sure your stay here and your accommodations are pretty comfortable.
Okay.
Felt
He's
better
gonna
than the temple.
just start doing maintenance on our equipment.
Does anyone want to do anything with the night before they go to bed?
Yeah, I have a contact to meet.
You do,
Hopefully.
yes. Yeah, so as you know, the sun has settled long ago. The night's starting to go down, and you head out to back to the temple, and you find yourself in the space. It's quiet.
I'd like to be quiet about it.
Yeah. Hold on. I need an NPC for you.
You knew this
His
was coming
name
up,
is
David.
I did. And I thought I had generated one, but I didn't. And I'm a dumbass. So I just gotta pull from my list somewhere. Yeah, as you kind of walk in, there's a thin human man who's kind of standing there. You recognize him. You've seen him before. It's his job to kind of know everything. He's what most people would consider a finger. He knows a little bit about everything that's coming through. And he's holding the gemstone that you'd placed in down. And he hands it back to you, and he goes, "What can I do for your father?"
I'm looking for a group of younger folks robbed a train recently. Crimson pythons, crimson
The
snakes.
Crimson Snakes, ah yes, our good friends who decided to bite off more than they can chew. What are you looking to know about them?
Yeah. What'd they actually get off that train?
What are they telling people they got, or what do we actually think they got?
What do you actually think they got?
I think they got a magical artifact. Now, you've seen the Bankers Guild get kicked up about a train robbery. Gold bars been stolen, debtors' notes
Oh,
been
yeah.
taken, all kinds of stuff that goes missing. I ain't never seen them this mad.
Neither have I. It's why it was a point of interest.
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to bet. I'd be willing to bet every coin in my purse that what they got is something very powerful that's owned by somebody even more powerful.
Not worth clipping then, hey?
I wouldn't. If they ever traced it back to you, you'd probably have a problem.
Fair enough. It's not like I didn't do this to get away from it all.
You're not getting back in the business, are you?
Not on the wrong side. Just need information.
Okay.
Keeping my hands as clean as I can be.
Well, they're sure
But,
good-looking hands now, so you
Sure they are.
you keep yourself out of trouble. And
Oh, yeah.
if you find those boys, you best make them disappear. However you feel that, because you bring them back here, you let the law get your hand on them, they're gonna disappear in a wrong way.
Yeah, I figured as much. Anything worth that much makes people disappear when they try to get their hands on it.
I think in this case you might have to deal with a different kind of folk. And he taps his pinky finger at you, and offers kind of a half-hearted shrug, and goes, "I think it's one of them folk. And I think if it is one of them folk, they got ways of making people disappear all kinds of the wrong way."
Understood. They're out at the old mill, yeah?
That's where they were last seen. I don't think they're actually hanging out there. I think
Fair enough.
they drew some attention and they've run off.
Yeah, ain't no better place to start. Middle of nowhere, lots of hidey holes.
Yeah, you know how it is out there.
Always. Well, thanks for your services.
Mm-hmm.
Divines be with you.
And with you, Father.
Always. And I'll toss him a gold coin.
He catches the coin in his hand, tips his head to you, and leaves the temple before you, and just kind of seems to disappear into the night.
As he does.
Flint, you are looking to find somebody in this town that knows a little bit more than they might let on. And you'd been given, through your channels, you'd been told if you were looking to know, sometimes it was worth poking around the church at night. And the only person coming out of the church that you see is the good old father.
Well, I would have gone out to the church to go see what exactly they were talking about. And then I was like, thinking the whole time, I'm just like, God, you know what? Probably is the father. I mean, they've been around for a while, so I guess that's who I should be talking to. I mean, and we're already kind of working the case together. I don't know, maybe I'll just go pay them a quick visit and see if they can run me up to speed on something else that they've heard. So that's just kind of the thought process as I'm getting in there. And,
Are you muttering to yourself, or?
Oh yeah. He's constantly he's working the case. His mind is too fast, and it's just it's muttering and writing shit down in his notebook, trying to everything that has been talked about already. He's been trying to keep account of it all. And he goes up to the church. Yes.
For sure.
Late at night after hearing what I heard. Couple knocks on the door.
It swings open. The temple, I don't think, ever locks its doors, really.
Hey, Father, is it just you in here?
Just me, darling. What can I do for you?
I've kind of been told you're actually a person in town to talk to about, the more nuanced details of these operations. You see.
Yeah, the church pew is as good a place as ever to pick up the guilty words and the speech of lost and forgotten souls.
Well, that's plenty fair. And you don't mind, I'm actually gonna sit and do a little soul searching myself. And I'm just not here to talk to you so much as just get your blessing. And
Fair enough.
just knowing that you're on our side on this is already great news for me. If you're who I'm supposed to be talking to, then you're already on the team.
Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Flint, are you a man of the law? City law.
A man of the law?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could call me that. Law adjacent. I work with the law, but sometimes outside of it. Know what I mean?
Understood. I need you to understand that out here there's only two laws that matter. The law of family and the law of money.
Well,
All that hoity-toity big city shit gonna get you killed.
the law of the family is what I respect the most. That's
I can
actually
see
what
that.
I'm going to be sitting here and talking to the good Lord about. Seeing if I can get a
Well-
little closer to my girl. Lost,
If you ever need hands with that, you let us know.
well, hopefully during this whole time I can come a little closer to them. And yeah, I'm going to go off and take a spot on a pew and kick down the little knee thing and have a little chat with the ones above.
Divines bless you, Mr. Flint.
Hey,
And I'll take my emblem necklace that, has multiple faiths woven into it, and I'll just tap your forehead with it before leaving.
graciously bow my head and accept the tap. Thank you, Father. And
Anytime, Mr. Flint.
sure, I'll be doing a little confession to you as we carry on our merry way. But for now, glad to get this off my chest before we get starting. And he's going to go and have a little prayer and do his own. And go to bed about it.
Night passes. In the morning, you wake up. And you find, once again, the sun rises on another boring day in sand mist. Although, many of you are starting to get the impression that a boring day in sand mist might not be so boring after all. You pack up your gear and you hit the road. It's about a day's journey that takes you to the point where you can reach the mill. It's a fairly quick trip. 2 seconds. My camera's making weird noises.
It says battery is
Yeah,
low.
I think that's probably what the weird noises it's making are.
Oh, and there he goes.
And he's gone.
I'm still here. You can all still hear my other real voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
This is the way Gary Gygax intended.
yeah, exactly. Not all these cameras and everything. There we go. That should show you my lovely face. Maybe.
That's a nope.
Nope.
No face. Only
Only voice.
only everything else. No face.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, there's
There we
face.
go.
Beautiful.
Yay!
Sometimes you just gotta give it a little bit of a love tap.
Always.
But
Neanderthal solutions for modern problems.
Yeah, it's there's kind of two options as to how you can travel as you move out. There's of course by foot. You could still make it in about a day. It's just going to be a lot faster paced trek. Or of course there's always the option to people will be more than happy to lend you a cliff glider to take, and it'll be a lot quicker to get there.
I'll close the doors of the temple, and I'll just go say a little prayer in front of it. And I go, Patches, you watch out now here.
From
And I'll
like
leave.
the tops of the church, you can hear like a soft like, "Ruff," and it kind of like echoes through the church.
There's a doggo.
And I will head towards the gliders and what have you after getting the temple kind of prepared for use for the day.
Ski's just gonna be like walking the town, like got up right when the sun rose. And it's just like walking around, just like, oh, and somehow got lost and sees the father and goes, oh, morning.
Morning, Puffball. We better get this show on the road.
Okay. Quick question. How do we get back
What?
to the frontier thing?
Oh, it's just up here.
Okay.
You are. You. Yeah, you are.
You are.
Something.
I am me. Thank you for noticing.
Just as the divines intended.
Who is this divine? Just muttering
Oh, that's
to
my
themselves.
father.
Oh. They sound
Fathers,
lovely.
mothers, uncles, aunts. Whole family out there.
Oh, they sound lovely. Maybe I'll visit one time. Just he's walking.
We all go to visit eventually. I hope you don't go to visit anytime soon.
Are they not as lovely as you say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And just walks up to see everybody else.
I think
Morning.
instinctively, Father Sophia Belle does like not necessarily take your hand in walking it, but like offers it because there's so many like kids in the town that have just been like, oh yeah, like that's Father. Father, you're safe. That has just become like second nature.
He's like, oh, is it because I get lost a lot? It just like takes the hand.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I can't have you wandering off.
She is a fully grown woman, by the way. I want to preference this. She is fully grown. She's just
Look, sometimes baby girl can be a fully grown haircut.
she's just not intelligent and she has no wisdom. So she is just whoosh.
Oh,
Oh, baby.
all of us have a little bit of ski inside of them.
Yes.
Everyone's got a little bit of ski. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll just
Everyone's
go
got a
with
little
it.
bit of father in her.
What about the rest of you?
I think Colt would have written a letter and then dropped it off before meeting up with everyone.
Okay. Yeah, like the town hall has got kind of a general post office box that you can drop things off
Yeah.
at.
Heart stays in bed to the last possible second.
Beautiful.
Then like gets picture perfect ready like ridiculously fast.
That's the real
magic.
that's the
Yeah.
real fantasy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Flint probably would have taken an hour just to come up with the right tool for the job for the day. And he's just gonna make sure that they've got some good woodworking tools on hand. No, glass blowing. Fuck it. Not glass blowing. We're gonna have glass blowing too. We got
Okay.
sand out in the desert. We're
Yeah.
gonna make some glass out of it.
Never know when you need to make a bowl.
Well, magnifying glass maybe.
Okay, yeah. You meet up just outside of the wall, or outside of the Frontier Adventure Company building. And yeah, as I mentioned, you've got kind of two options. It depends for you guys to discuss. Do you want to go on foot, or do you want to take a mount and ride there a little bit quicker?
Let's take a mount.
Yeah.
He's like,
Save our energy just in case. I feel like we're gonna need to do a lot of searching today.
Okay.
Yes.
Strudel doesn't like them.
Well, just keep strudel in your bag then.
Just looks them out and just is like, okay.
So yeah, around here, some people keep horses. They're pretty common, but a lot easier creature to get your hands on is, as I mentioned, a cliff glider. They are large lizards, but they're relatively calm around people. They don't seem all that bothered by individuals in the long run. And the best way I can describe them is as though somebody combined one of those Jesus lizards with a flying squirrel. They've got a little bit of like a mane of like feather. They look like feathers, but it almost feels like fur kind of around their neck. And then between their forearm and their along their arm, basically how they walk is their elbow is effectively what's going into the ground, and then they've got wings spread between. They're not really capable of flight, and most people understand trying to get a cliff glider to fly is not advisable. But many of the youth have often scaled the town hall and glided them off over the walls, which they don't seem to mind too much. But yeah, that's the kind of creature you find yourself face to face with, and they're fairly easy to, like, people just kind of let you take them out, because nobody really owns a cliff glider. One just kind of decides it's happy being there.
He's gonna go up and try to get on one.
Should Ski ride with someone?
Might be
We
an
got
idea.
this. Let Ski do what you do.
Do you want to boost?
What I'll probably get you to do, is we're gonna pull up. Oh shit.
Be like animal handling.
Yeah,
I got a lot of animal handling.
First things first. I'm gonna get you to roll me a stealth check. There's a +2 baked into that, so roll me a d20 and then add 2 to that.
Oh, just a d20?
Yeah, you're not the thing that's being stealthy.
Oh,
No.
no, please, can you just, I don't wanna roll it.
Mhm.
I'm not
You got this.
trying to remember how to do this on 1d. I did not do that right.
+2. No. It's the
Forgot.
other way around.
Yeah,
Slash R.
I always forget that. Because
+2.
grammar-wise, it just doesn't work with me.
Also on roll 20, I think
Ooh.
that's
Oh, no!
that's
That was
a
1d10
That's a
though.
D10.
That's a
yeah.
D10. That's a
Oh,
D10.
God.
Dice.
Oh yeah, 10.
I am running on like
I get it. I've been there.
oh, 1d20 +2. Double check if it said
Yes.
20. I'm double checking, guys. So, you know what? It is.
No, we'll just add
6.
them together.
We'll just add-
6.
If it comes
Oh
back
my-
to a 6, I swear
Okay,
to
well.
God.
I
Unrecognized
might laugh.
and
Did you do it right?
I am messing. Is there?
Come on, Geek, you got this.
I think you
I
can
do not.
go to the advanced dice roller and you can actually manually go in and go roll 1d20.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do that because this is. I'm trying to be cool. No, oh God! Oh God!
That's a 9.
9.
It's a 9.
So as you approach them, one of them kind of like
Oh.
turns and looks and like snuffles at your bag, but it like it kind of has this moment where like it looks at the bag, it looks at you, and you can see it like cock its head to the side, like it's really thinking about what it's about to do, and then it looks away, and it's just like.
He was just gonna look at it and be like, "If you try it, I will skin you and cook you alive."
Yeah.
Eyes just turn slightly, like for a blink second, like slits, and then goes right back to normal.
And then what we'll do is we'll just get a group animal handling check. We'll basically see what the average is across all of you. and kind of go from there.
12. 16.
Yeah.
Nice.
Plus
I mean,
2 in animal handling.
I mean, you guys are, you're all above average, so you're gonna find yourself able to easily climb aboard one of them. They have saddles on them that they're kind of strapped to. They don't seem to bother them in any way, shape, or form. Kind of in the same way those things from Avatar, whatever the dragon-like creatures. Like those things. That's what you are, but a little bit more grounded in reality and kind of looking a little bit more like a bearded dragon than they would like to admit.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that's you guys trundle on off into the frontier roadways.
All right, Starlight, get.
We are coming up to the end of the day, so I think I'm going to call it there for tonight.
Okay.
And we will see everyone next week because we're weekly. So
Love that.
Yes.
For those of you that had a blast and hung out and had a fun time with us, we'll be back here next Wednesday. As I think I mentioned earlier, these games are a little bit shorter because there's going to be more of them, and it allows our players to get a little bit more rest in between, and also gives us a bit more time after our busy lives to be able to have things set aside. I want to thank my amazing players. You all deserve a round of applause.
Thank you.
Especially those of you who are sick or otherwise under the weather and still put on an amazing show today. I want to thank our amazing audience, both on Twitch and YouTube, for hanging out with us tonight and spending a wonderful day with us. And then it's like he read my mind. We're going to be raiding out to some lovely folks. So
Yeah. Like Dan Lemon and Crowan and tormented by gnomes. Some of my favorite humans.
there we go.
You might
hell
see
yeah.
some of us Monday as well.
Yes, I think a bunch of you are playing in the Monday
Yes.
game, so I'm very excited for you guys to get a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in.
I will not be
and-
there, but Ski shall return next Wednesday to make
And,
even more friends.
And Tuesday next week, I am on Casters and Castles. So.
Beautiful. Actually, so before we go, Guardia Arcana raided in with 8 viewers. Thank you so much for coming to join us. We're actually about to be sending you all out on a raid ourselves. So thank you for coming in. It was
Get
wonderful
yeeted.
to have you guys. But we're immediately going to be jumping over to our friends Casters and Castles. They're playing some Dungeons and Dragons, so go show them some love from us. Thank you everyone for a wonderful night, and have a great time.
Guys.
Phenomenal. See you next time.
Yeah. We're like looking at like